We're facing an unprecedented challenge, humanity, on this planet right now. And this is the challenge. Every day, AP, Economist, Wall Street Journal, there's another water crisis. I mean, I don't have to tell you, you see it all, right? You just open your newspaper, there's a water crisis. Look at the map. Everywhere it's red or dark red, that's a person, a child, a mother, who's facing water scarcity, and they have two choices. Stay where they are and die, or move. Okay, 700 million people will move by 2030. If you think you've seen border crisis, you're still in the little leagues. You have no idea what's coming, all right? 2040, 2 billion people move. And there's no stopping this, guys. It either rains too much in the wrong place or it doesn't rain in the right place. That's what we're seeing, and it's only gonna get worse. So what can we do about it, right? And so I think what we need to do about this is start looking at the problem. You're all gonna go live in Siberia or northern Canada. That's your choice, okay? Choose one of those two. So the old option, and what we do today, is we build these plants called reverse osmosis plants. They're excellent. They're the best of the technology. They're the equivalent of the best coal-fired power plant, okay? We got to the top of this technology. It runs on fossil fuel, and it creates a brine stream, okay? The brine stream goes into the ocean. By 2040, the Red Sea and the Dead Sea will no longer have fish in them. 300 million fishermen will go do another job. It probably entails taking a gun and going and do something nasty, okay, because you've got no income. So we're slowly kicking up the brine in oceans that are constrained. In the bigger ocean, it's not a problem, but in some constrained seas, and unfortunately that's where a lot of people live, it is a problem, okay? So what can we do? Well, we still need to do desalination. In fact, we're gonna need to do a lot of desalination to stop 1 billion people from moving. So we've got to use renewable energy. And that creates the problem. The existing technology cannot run on renewable energy. It's a base load power. You've got to give it like a data center, 24/7 steady power. If you don't have that, you can't run this machine. Plus, what are you going to do with the brine? Well, we look at the brine today as a waste product. We want to get rid of it. Slowly, there's a drift back to, let's take that brine and mine it. It's full of minerals we need, okay? So instead of getting rid of it, let's make it a process that we can use. And so we've pioneered this technology called forward osmosis. My brother, the professor of chemical engineering, hates the term. He says it should just be osmosis. For some of you biologists over there, osmosis is this natural process where you draw water through a membrane and it does it with no energy. Okay, so if you look at the two technologies, reverse osmosis and forward osmosis, the first one runs on high pressure. We're talking 1,000 psi. Your car tire may be 60 psi, so 1,000 psi pressure. That means, why doesn't it work on renewable? You can't turn 1,000 psi on and off every day when the cloud comes over. It'll destroy your plant. Forward osmosis works on ultra low pressure, less than a bicycle tire pressure. You can turn it on and off as much as you like, okay? Scaling and fouling, because of the high pressure, they'll foul. We don't foul. Electrical use, significantly lower. Here's another important thing. Because of the high pressure, they can only take salt out of water up to a concentration of 65,000 parts. For osmosis, I don't have that limitation. I can take salt all the way to 240,000. Why is that important? I can concentrate and have a lot less water in my brine. So instead of getting 50% of the water converted to fresh water, I can get 85% or more. This is a huge advantage. So for brine concentration and reuse, it's an ideal technology. This is how it works. You typically have salty or dirty water on one side of a membrane, and this membrane looks a lot like a reverse osmosis membrane. On this side over here, and this is what Trevi does, this is where our secret sauce is, we make these engineered molecules. So if you come to my laboratory, we're molecular chemists at our heart, okay? We design these unique molecules that have an incredible affinity for water. They want to suck all the water through this membrane. And in the process of pulling the water through the membrane, they leave the salt and everything else behind. And now you have this molecule mixed with your water. You don't want to drink the molecule, okay? What you do is you gently heat it up, temperature of a cup of tea, and it separates, it lets go of the water. So this molecule is incredibly thermally sensitive. If you stuck your hand in there and pulled it out, it would suck all the water out of your fingers, okay? But if you heat your hand up, it'll let go. So it has this unique attribute that we can use for seawater desalination. That's one source that I'm sure you all think about when you think about desalination, although it's not our primary market. We also do it a lot for industrial brines, and I'll show you some examples. And the big one, and the one dear to my heart, is agriculture and desalination in the Central Valley. Okay, so this is our plant in Hawaii. There's the solar panels over there. Here's the plant. It desalinates enough water for about 2,000 people. It's next to the airport in Kona. It was a $4 million project with the Department of Energy, and it demonstrated that our energy was half of the best technology out there today. So designed and built. I have a similar plant in Cyprus, and I had another plant in the UAE, and we have another plant in Kuwait. So we've built a number of these and proven it. But here's the problem. People at this point in time will not pay for renewable desalination. Okay, we're not quite yet. There's no subsidies. This is like trying to sell an electric car with no subsidies. It's a tough value proposition. A great technology, it works, nobody cares. So the next market we decided, well, who cares? Well, there's a plant in Oman. So again, you see those big inflatable solar tubes? That's a tube that shows up in our container, and one day we blow it up like a balloon. It's 200 feet long, and it collects all the solar energy, and then down the bottom is our plant over here. We take produce water from the oil fields. And these are guys who care, because if they can't make oil, they have a problem. To make oil, you've got to get rid of water, okay? The limitation of oil production in the world right now is getting rid of water. So we clean up their water for them, and we get rid of their water for them, and nobody else can do that. An RO cannot even touch it. It starts at 100,000. There's no known technology that can do that except for forward osmosis. So we help the oil field guys. The same technology is used in a mine in Minnesota for nickel. So that's our industrial applications. And the final one, and where I'm trying to put the whole picture together now, is agriculture. You probably all saw the announcement that we can no longer burn biomass in California. You're probably all aware of that. So what we do is we pull water out of the ground, brackish water, we desalinate it. We use that water to grow more crops in agriculture. We take the residual biomass, and together with the brine, we sequester all the carbon. You can have your cake and eat it. You can have water, you can sequester carbon, and you can do it in a low energy way. And so this is what we're rolling out in 5 trials in Southern Cal, all around here, in the next few months with some of the largest greenhouses out here. And of course, the markets are huge. I don't have to tell you, the markets are multi-billions of dollars in each of these sectors, and they're growing rapidly. The team has done it before. I've done a couple of companies. I've IPO'd one at $2 billion, sold another one for $700 million. My VP of engineering was with General Motors. Igor, my CTO, he's a walking chemical analyzer. If you've ever had vodka, thank him. 40% of the world's vodka goes through his plants. And Shan, my VP and biz dev lady, is probably the only woman with a PhD in forward osmosis that I know. And so that's the recent press. We're planning an IPO in about 2 to 3 years. We're doing a $5 million funding right now on crowdfunding. 80 cents a share. We've raised about $1.5 million in 3 months. I'm unhappy, but some people say that's good. We're looking at $12 million we've booked in the bank already this year, trying to close another $9 million before the end of the year. And of course, we're doing a Reg D in parallel, where we're trying to find a lead investor right now for a complete round. And that's what I have. Thanks, guys.